In this lecture, we will talk about functions returning a dictionary. Actually, a function can return any kind of value you need it to, including more complicated data structures like lists and dictionaries. So for example, the following function takes in parts of a name and returns a dictionary representing a person. So we build a function, diff, function's name called buildPerson. There are two parameters, first name, last name, needed for this function. So note that these two variables are local, have local scope inside the function, which means these two variables, the value cannot be accessed outside of the function. So we must return the information to the variable when calling this function. So inside the function, we create a dictionary called person, and the person have two keys. The first key called first, and its value is first name, the value of first name here. And the key of last, the value is last name. So person have two keys, first name and the last name's value are assigned to those two keys in the dictionary. Then return this dictionary called person. So when we call this function buildPerson, input two values. One is for the first name and one is for the last name. Then the musician is a dictionary created with two keys. The first key called first, and the value is Jimmy. And the second key of this musician's dictionary is last, and its value is Hendrix. So we can print out this dictionary. And you can easily extend this function to accept optional values like a middle name, an age, an occupation, or any other information you want to store about a person. For example, the following change allows you to store a person's age as well. So we modify this function with adding an optional parameter called age, and its value, its default value is empty string. So when people call this function, if they input the age information, then the information user entered will be used. If they will not input the information for age, then the age is optional, and the function calling will omit this age variable. So inside the function, we similarly create a dictionary called person, but this time, first, the beginning, there are also two keys called first and last, the same as before, with the value first name, last name, input by the user calling the function. And next, there is a if conditional test. So if age means if the age value is not empty string, which means user has input the age in when he is calling the function. So we add a key called age, and the value is the age user inputted to this dictionary, person dictionary. Then in the last, we return this dictionary called person. So if user has not entered information about the age, then the if statement will not be run, and the dictionary of person has only 2 keys, first name and the last name, same as the previous example. So now the musician is the return dictionary assigned to this musician, and calling this function build person with inputting 3 information. So the first, they use the positional parsing arguments. So the first one is the first name, the second one is for the last name, and the third, the age is 27, is for the age. Then can print out this dictionary. We will show all these statements in Anaconda Spider. We move to section 7, the Python file called section 7 functions, and the files has been uploaded on the GitHub for this course, and the link has been added into the description of this video. We move to the part of lecture 4, functions return a dictionary. So the first is returns a dictionary representing a person. So we create this function first with only first name, last name, 2 parameters. Then the person in the dictionary created the brace. Inside the brace, there are 2 keys, first and the last, with the comma separated, and the column for the value for the first time, the first name for the first, last name for the last. Though the first name and the last name are input from the user calling this function. Then we return this dictionary. So run to create this function. Then we call this function and assign the result with the return person, this statement. So return to this value. This variable is a dictionary called musician. Then we call this function build person with 2 information, first name and the last name input, and run. Then we will print out this dictionary. So dictionary is print out first Jimmy, last Hendrix. And the next we will try to return a dictionary with age as optional parameter. So create this function same as before, but the age here is a new parameter with the default value is empty string. So this variable parameter age is optional for calling this function. So here we create a dictionary called person, but with same as before with first and the last name for these 2 keys, but we add if statement for the conditional test. So if the user has input age when they call the function, so the person's dictionary will be added with a key called age, and the value is the user input age. Though if the user does not add information for the age, so if age test will be failed, so the person's dictionary will not be created with a key called age. So only first name, last name inside the dictionary. Then return this dictionary. So we run this and to create this function, and musician will be returned as a dictionary after calling this function build person, but this time first name, last name, and age have been inputted. We run this, then can print out this dictionary. So this time there are 3 keys, first Jamie, last Hendrix, and age 27.